Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everybody else, this is John Paval with this week's Access Arts Live Chamber Music Live Stream Action Roundup for the week of September 1st to September 8th, including not only classic traditional chamber music, but also the most modern contemporary now music that we can find for you. We have a lovely week of live streams lined up for you. It includes three very different piano concerts, piano recitals on Thursday. It includes on the weekend and next Monday some very now music which you cannot have heard before because it's just now. That's beyond new. But we also have some very classic, very traditional live stream chamber music for you as well by very top quality, internationally recognized artists. So it's a good week for that. Before I go any further, let me remind you to follow and or subscribe to Access Arts Live on whatever platform you happen to be viewing this. And that would include, well, we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, X, TikTok, Instagram, Threads, LinkedIn, and now Rumble as well. So like us, follow us wherever you're watching us, and click the notification button to make sure that you hear all about our live streams. And we promise we will continue to provide you with live links to more than 1,000 live performances online in the coming year. Having said that, now let us get on to let me tell you a bit about this week's live stream action. Actually, before I do that, I did want to mention that the first of this week's live streams was actually earlier today. It was from St. Mary's Perivale. It was actually a Tessa Tues and Ben Schumann, a piano duo, playing with four hands a piano transcription of, hold on a minute, I have to get my notes in order here, of Beethoven's Sixth Symphony. That's not something that you hear every day. But we put out a special notice of it so you could hear it, and it will be listed in our live stream links, along with our other links after this live stream on my part is finished. So now let me finally get on to what I wanted to get on to, which is the first of this week's live streams to tell you about. And it's also at St. Mary's Perivale, which is kind of why it was on my mind. If you'd like to hear all 24 Chopin piano preludes live this week, you can. As Thursday, September 4th, 17-year-old pianist and composer Jacky Zhang is featured in St. Mary's Perivale's playing all the preludes and even more Chopin than that, live streamed at 3 o'clock European time. That's 3 o'clock European time, 9 in the morning on the East Coast, 6 in the morning on the West Coast, and 11 o'clock at night down under in Australia. He'll be playing the 24 preludes. That's about a 40-minute exercise. He'll be playing Chopin's Nocturne in E, Opus 62, number 2, and he'll be playing the Polonaise Fantasy in A flat, Opus 61 to finish up. He's only 17 years old. He's a fourth-year undergraduate at the Royal College of Music. He's already been called a genius by some music critics when writing about one of his previous concerts that he did here at in St. Mary's Perivale. When he was only 12 years old, back in 2020, he won first prize at the UK Piano Open International Competition. So the guy's quite something. And for Chopin lovers, it's a great gig. Next up on Thursday, as we have three different pianists on Thursday, comes to us from the Chopin piano festival, but it doesn't have as much Chopin as Jacky Zhang was just playing. Interestingly enough, that Chopin festival put on by the Chopin Institute is called Chopin and His Europe, which leaves the door wide open for people to say, like Bruce Liu came in on Sunday and played anything but Chopin. But if you're Bruce Liu, you can play anything you want because they absolutely love that guy at the Chopin Institute. He won their piano competition one year. First Chinese Canadian to do so. But that's not what I'm talking about here. Okay, let's move on. Chopin and His Europe Festival features multiple award-winning Singapore-born pianist Kate Liu, playing a varied program including Chopin, Brahms, Scriabin, and César Franck. Live streamed Thursday, September 4th at 8:30 European time. 8:30 in the evening, 2:30 in the afternoon on the East Coast, 11:30 in the morning on the West Coast. She'll be playing Chopin's Nocturne in F major, Opus 15, number 1, his Berceuse, that's a lullaby, in D flat major, Opus 57. Then Alexander Scriabin's Piano Sonata number 3 in F sharp minor, Opus 23, and César Franck's Prelude, Chorale, and Fugue. Kate Liu studied at the Music Institute of Chicago. Then she studied at the Curtis Institute of Music, and then she studied at Juilliard. So step by step. Although originally born in Singapore, she moved to the United States when she was only 8 years old. So really an American artist at this point in time. She's known to the Chopin people because she won 3rd place and the Mazurka Prize in the 17th International Chopin Piano Competition in Warsaw. And that means a lot to the Chopin Institute people because they run that competition. And she's performed at venues like the Seoul Art Center, the Tokyo Metropolitan Theater, Carnegie Hall, Severance Hall in Cleveland, La Maison Symphonique in Montreal, and at the Kennedy Center, probably on the Millennium stage. They might even have live streamed it. We have a live stream about that to tell you about from the Kennedy Center this same day, Thursday, September 4th. Another pianist. But anyway, her debut album came out already almost 10 years ago in 2016, and it was the Chopin Institute, a recording of her performances at the Chopin competition. Another top quality live stream from the Chopin Institute and its Chopin and His Europe Festival. And then we have a third live stream coming to you from the Kennedy Center Millennium stage, likely a very different kind of concert from the first two very classic concerts we've been telling you about. And here's the pianist. Well, there's one photo of her playing the piano in the garden. I have another photo I can also show you, which is a little better image of her. You see her a little closer, probably taken on the same occasion. Also known as the Platinum Pianist. I'll tell you about that in a second. Thursday, September 4th, Slovenian-born classical and very scholarly pianist Petra Persolja, also known as the Platinum Pianist, plays a concert called Piano Takes on Pop in a Kennedy Center Millennium stage live stream at 6 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. She was also a Lee Weimer's Emerging Artist Award winner last year. She got a BM in piano pedagogy from the University of Liljana in Slovenia. She got her MM in piano performance at the University of Hawaii, and then got her doctor's at the University of California, Santa Barbara, doing a dissertation on the culturally significant Istrian scale. This is a scholarly person, but she likes to mix it up. We do not know exactly what she's going to be playing. She hasn't given out a program. We'll give you the link to her website. She calls herself the Platinum Pianist. And so she brings her classical music skills also to the playing of pop music. And there should be a fair measure of pop music in this concert since pop is included in the title. Enjoy. After that, on Friday, there are a couple of live streams coming out of Washington State. You know, the Washington State, they're great lovers of chamber music and opera and all such things. And so I just want to mention a couple of them to you. One of them is the Seattle Recorders Society live streams its monthly meet and play. And if you want to pay €8 or $8 for one session or $45 for a year-long membership, then you can join in. And if you're just new to the recording, you can learn how to play it better. Or you can join in on, they learn 3 or 4 new pieces each week, and you can either play along while you're watching the live stream. That's on Friday, September 7th, 7 o'clock in the evening, Pacific time, 10 o'clock on the East Coast, and noon down under in Australia, Saturday morning. Then another live stream coming out of, another fun live stream coming out of the state of Washington, Friday, September 7th at 7 p.m. again, is the Puget Sound Concert Opera 2025 season preview. And these are young concert artists, they call them, who are members of the Puget Sound Concert Opera's program for up-and-coming artists. And they'll be doing various arias by Rachmaninoff, by Stravinsky, by Menotti, by Christensen, and Gerard Toning, and Clint Borzoni. And they have a couple of singers from Ukraine, mezzo-soprano Maria Bykova and baritone Vladislav Popov. They've got, and then they have a couple of singers from the Washington State area, mezzo Esther Kelly and tenor Zachary Rude. If this is a chance to hear young up-and-coming singers singing a variety of operatic arias. And then we move on to some of our more hardcore live streams of the weekend. Next is a guitar. Classical guitar performance. For those who love the sound of the classical guitar, I know I do, Saturday, September 6th, on the Musik live stream series features former prodigy and now well-established virtuoso classical guitarist Anna Vidović in a solo performance. That'll be at 7 o'clock on the East Coast, 4 o'clock on the West Coast, 1 o'clock in the morning in Europe, and 9 o'clock Sunday morning down under in Australia. We'll give you the link to the artist herself, Croatian-born Anna Vidović. On her way up, she won first prizes in several noteworthy classical guitar competitions. Born 1980 in the little town of Karlovac near Zagreb, Croatia, and she's grown up to become a distinguished, internationally known, well-traveled classical guitarist. Bravo! She studied at in Zagreb at first, but then got into the Peabody Conservatory. She's done concerts at places like 92nd Street in New York City. And probably in Philadelphia with the Philadelphia Chamber Music Society, in the Omni concerts in San Francisco. In 2023 and 2024, she was teaching guitar in Greece. Not sure what she's up to this year. She has 6 CDs and 2 live DVDs out. And her latest CD is called Live at Hampton Hall. It's on Octave Records, came out in 2023. Guitar Review said of, let me find it, said of Anna Vidović. Her dynamic range, beauty of sound, precision of articulation, and virtuosity are such that listening becomes more of an absolute musical experience. You can't beat that. Okay, now that's not free of charge. There's a $15 charge for this live stream on the Musik website. Then we move on to Saturday. Okay, and Saturday is another interesting live stream. Contemporary music on Saturday, coming from Gene Pritzker and Composers Concordance in New York City. They just never quit. Gene Pritzker's merry band of now music makers, Composers Concordance, live streams 21st Century Art Song on Saturday, September 6th, sung by the inimitable German soprano and music therapist Liljana Winkler. And there's a photo of Liljana Winkler for you there. I can show you, she has very striking photos out there, so I'll show you more than one. And here she is in sort of leader art song concert mode, but actually both of those photos are that. So this will be live from the Westbeth in New York City. The pianist is Marcus Kaitila, and there are a number of other musicians. There's James Nioraku Schleffer on the shakuhachi, Audrey Morse on the violin, Gene Pritzker, of course, on the electric guitar, and they'll be doing a series of, this is all very, very contemporary, what I call now music. Liljana Winkler is, she's based at the University of Augsburg, where she teaches, she lectures in voice training and vocal music therapy. She also has a company called Studio Musica, where she gives private lessons. She's performed at places like the National Theater in Luxembourg, the Opera Factory in Freiburg, other state theater and opera houses in Germany and nearby. But she's also, I think she's a favorite of Gene Pritzker. He manages to bring in these talented people from all over the world to then just do the wildest stuff you can imagine. So some of the pieces they'll be doing are Gene Pritzker's own 3 poems of Imelda O'Reilly, with the poet herself reciting the poems. They'll be doing Audrey Morse's The Dream is a Wish Fulfilled, in which the lyrics are words by Sigmund Freud. They'll do Natasha Bogojevich's Kyrie, and she is one of the accompanists on the piano. And then they'll be doing selected works by people like Deborah Kay, Denise Konchelik, Eugene McBride, David Saperstein, James Nioraku Schleffer, who I believe, isn't he playing on the, he's playing the shakuhachi. And the well-known from Vox Nova, Robert Voissy, some works by him. This is, as Gene Pritzker describes it, a way of propelling an age-old compositional form, the art song, into the 21st century. It's always very now music when it comes out of Composers Concordance. If you like now music, this is for you. And then we switch from that to much more traditional, much more very classical music on Sunday. Coming out of Colorado. Which will involve the Pacifica string quartet, which is like, it doesn't get any better than Pacifica, really. Or more steadfast and classical. For those who love high-octane quality string quartets, well, Sunday, September 7th, the top quality Pacifica Quartet plays Barber and Beethoven, and world premieres James Lee III's Pitch, about childhood poverty, being joined by the Colorado Children's Chorale, appropriately enough. you know, what critics say about the Pacifica Quartet is that it's phenomenal. We'll give you the link to their website if you don't know them. If you're a real chamber music follower, then you know about the Pacifica Quartet. They'll be playing Barber's String Quartet in B minor, Opus 11. Then they'll do James Lee III's Pitch In. It's called Pitch In, not just Pitch, which is a world premiere with the Colorado Children's Chorale. Then they'll do two pieces by Beethoven, the String Quartet number 13 in B-flat major, Opus 130, and his Grosse Fugue, Opus 133. If you love classical chamber music and string quartets, doesn't get any better than this. They're multiple Grammy Award winning. They've been around since 1994, so 30 years now. Started out long ago when they were young at the Music Academy of the West, overlooking the Pacific Ocean, which is what they got their name from, Pacifica. They won all sorts of awards when they were up and coming. They've been the quartet in residence at the Jacobs School of Music at Indiana University for a decade or so. And they also lead at the Aspen Music Festival, the Center for Advanced Quartet Studies. That one thing they're known for is playing and then recording all of the string cycle quartets of a single composer. So they've done that with Elliott Carter, with Mendelssohn, with Beethoven and Shostakovich. As I said, it doesn't get more classic than this, but at the same time, you get a very contemporary piece about the problems of poverty and hunger among children. And then there's one more live stream that I want to tell you about, which will get us back to very live music. And it's not this week, it's next week, it's on Monday. But we generally do our live stream roundup on Tuesdays. So, you know, if I don't give it to you now, you're not going to have it. And this is, again, Now Music, this time coming to you from one of these companies that corresponds to the Chicago's version of Composer's Concordance, or you could call it vice versa. Their correspondent is Constellation Chicago. If you fancy Now Music, the eclectic cross-genre piano percussion flannel duo is for you, making a return engagement at Constellation Chicago this Monday, September 8th, playing a wide range of contemporary works which may defy definition. That'll be at 8:30 in the evening, Monday evening, September 8th, Chicago time, 9:30 on the East Coast, 3:30 in the morning in Europe, and 11:30 Tuesday morning down under in Australia. I'll give you the link. It's not, well, we give you the link to the YouTube channel. You can watch it free of charge, but they ask you, for the sake of paying the artist, to cough up $10.36, and we'll give you the link to where you do that as well. Flannel duo is Joseph Hanau on the piano and Kyle Flens on percussion. And, well, Flens and Hanau becomes Flannel. They've played at Constellation Chicago before, so apparently the Constellation Chicago was happy with what they do. This is piano, percussion, electronics, improvisation, and absurdism. It's eclectic programming, and it deliberately is designed not to adhere to any specific musical aesthetic. So I can't really tell you, well, is this classic? Is it contemporary? Is it electronic? It's just now. You know, so they'll be doing, here's a list of what they're doing. You know, I don't know all these contemporary composers as well, but you may if you're a fan of this kind of music. Austin Williams's Void Forms, a new work by Alexis C. Lamb that we don't have a name for yet. Anthony R. Green's Color Conversation. Nick Bentz's Perimeters. That's a premiere with a film by Alexander Atienza. Mark Mellett's Ex Machina Remix. That's a premiere. Julie Cruz's Falling, arranged by Flannel. And Flying Lotus's All the Secrets, arranged by Flannel. They are sponsored by the Flannel duo. Incidentally, is sponsored by Fractured Atlas, and they are endorsed by Pearl Drums and Adams Percussion Instruments. I give you that little plug there because anybody that's plugging and supporting this kind of music is doing a good thing in my universe. And I can show you another picture where you'll see the two guys. I wanted you to see them at work there, but this is the two of them on the street in Chicago. He sometimes plays that little piano. And sometimes they'll have two little pianos like that on stage, and they'll both be playing it at each other. So, you know, it's now music. You find out what it is when they play it, because there's also improvisational qualities in the way they play these pieces. Well, that's what we have for you this week, folks, in terms of chamber music and contemporary music live stream actions. I hope that one more or any of these live streams, if you tune in, inspires you, uplifts you, or just shows you a heck of a good time. A couple of those have just got to be a good time. And before I sign off for this week, until I come back on Friday, probably with highlights of the weekend, because the way things are now, we're just getting started back up in the fall, and there are live streaming performing arts companies that aren't going to tell us what they're doing this weekend until Thursday or Friday. So I better come back in at the end of the day on Friday at, say, 6 o'clock European time, noon on the East Coast, 9 in the morning on the West Coast, to do a live stream of weekend highlights. And to conclude, wherever you may be enjoying watching this video, please follow and or subscribe to Access Arts Live on Facebook, YouTube, X, TikTok, Instagram, Threads, LinkedIn, and or Rumble. And we will continue to provide you with more than 1,000 live links to live performances online in this coming year. Ciao for now, and thanks so much for tuning in.